Whoa. So hello guys, welcome to another stream, I guess. Wait a minute, let me just put on my capture card. Well, cool. Let me just bring my newspaper because I wanted to read an article for you guys. Just a minute, guys. Yeah, let me jump in. Okay, so I have my diary today here and a newspaper, and today actually we are gonna talk about, is it okay to be normal? Like, we're gonna talk about it today, and let's go. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Rhythm. I'm a student. I'm an Indian, and I'm trying to learn English and have a more command over and have a good command over this language. Perfecting this craft of linguistic, I want to keep this a personal project, that like the streaming thing, a personal project where I stream daily and speak in English, and though English isn't my first language, I try to speak in English and um uh try to speak in English and okay guys, so let me just be clear with you guys. Thing is, I'm blank. I need to explain this. Okay. The thing is, I am not able to frame the sentence into words. So yeah, let me just be flowy with it. Let's just let it flow. Yeah. So I was talking about this, that actually I want to be a great public speaker and like be a really great public speaker. And in these streams that I do, I observed that I don't look in the camera while speaking, and I rather look somewhere else, like down, or I'll look up, or I'll look at the side backside, like at the wall. I will look at the wall. I will not make eye contact with the audience, and that makes the problem worse when I have stage fear. Like, I have social anxiety, I have stage fear, so I can't talk with eyes to eyes locked with the camera. So instead of that, to save my mental energy, I keep on looking here and there, and I don't stare at the camera. So I decided that if I stare at the camera while speaking, the camera will act as audience, so that when I am speaking in public, I don't panic because I have already practiced speaking in the camera. So that was my plan, but the thing that happened here was I went blank while talking to the camera. I don't know why. I think it's because it consumes some mental energy, and I don't have the resources left to think. So that's a problem. But I observed it, so I'm gonna write it. Stare at the camera. So I don't know where I was. Oh, sorry. I think that's the problem with me, and that's why I can't speak on stage, because I just keep looking here and there, and I can't make eye contact with the audience, and that's why I just can't um speak in speak in front of people. So I am gonna keep my camera preview on, and I'm gonna stare at myself right now while speaking so that I act as an audience for myself and I can practice better now. I guess because that's how things should go probably. That's how things should go probably. And I think that's why it's advised to talk in the mirror, like talk in front of the mirror. I think that's why it's advised to do so because we ourselves act as audience. So, that being said, today we are going to talk about, is it okay to be normal? And wait a minute, before that, I should conclude that in some previous streams we brainstormed about on the topic about a, how can we master the craft of public speaking, and we came to the conclusion that the first step to be fluent is like no the first step to the first step to be an excellent speaker, an excellent not an excellent conversationalist. For let me just tell you, to be an excellent conversationalist, you should be a great listener. But to be a great speaker, the first step is to be fluent. I think I uh, I I I made it really confusing. Sorry for that. And okay, that's weird. Let me just admit it. That's weird. Me talking to the camera in front of me, that's weird. But I have to do this to be a great speaker because that's how I should be. Yeah. And that's the reason why I can't speak in front of others because I look here and there while talking, and that can't happen while I'm speaking in front of the camera. Speaking in front of the people, I can't look here and there while speaking, but I do so. So I should be clear with it. Some more observations I came up with were, I repeat a few words, I don't take impactful pauses. But the first step, as I just told, is to be fluent. I'm just gonna speak. I'm gonna speak a lot. Like literally a lot. I'm gonna just speak a lot till I am fluent with my language, and then I'm gonna focus on other things like taking pauses or better delivery. That's the second. That's none of my concern now. Now the only concern I have now is not tone, is not fluency, isn't tone, isn't delivery, isn't taking more stories, isn't content. It's just being fluent. So I'm gonna be fluent and gonna do everything to be fluent. And one thing we observe, like we we learned about being fluent was that it's easier to be fluent if you know some expressions in English. Just if you know some expressions in English, it's easier for you to be fluent. Okay, I'm gonna open a lot of control shift T. Control shift T.
वेलकम टू 100 डेज ऑफ कोड गाइस 100 डेज ऑफ कोड में हम लोग पाइथन प्रोग्रामिंग फ्रॉम जीरो टू
Okay, that's weird. Okay, let's not talk about it. And yeah, okay. So, oh, I see.
20. Hi, I'm Vanessa.
Way in which this expression is.
Yeah, keep that in mind. To take something for granted, wishful thinking. Having said that, yeah. So uh, we were actually learning some expressions, because the thing is with expressions, you are able to express yourself better when you know some expression in English that come handy. Expressions are like some phrases which aren't grammatically correct but are mostly used by people, so you should use them as well. So you should just use them as well. And that's it about expressions. And now we are gonna learn some expression, and then we're gonna talk about, is it okay to be normal? And I have wasted 10 minutes of ours, so let's just continue to watch a video about expression, and we're gonna talk about, is it okay to be normal, tomorrow maybe. So let's go, guys.
Is used.
The Volturi don't give second chances. Keep that in mind.
The world ain't what it seems, is it, Gunny?
No, sir.
You keep that in mind.
The next expression is be that as it may. This is another expression
I think that means let it be how it is.
that is often used at the beginning of a sentence, and it's a little more formal as well. And what it means is that you use this expression when you want to say that you believe some information that you have been given, that you think it is true, but it does not change your opinion about some topic or some situation. So let me give you an example. And
While I'm observing, I can't even read properly because all my focus is on observing. That's the reason why we have stage anxiety, guys. I feel like, because the sole focus of yours is on just observing the audience, and you forget about your speech. Be that as it may, when you want to say you believe some information but it does not change your opinion.
and I'm trying to think of something that would be a more formal setting. Maybe a courtroom with a judge, and the judge is deciding that somebody is guilty, and they're trying to determine should they give a very strict punishment or should they give a very light punishment. And the person is trying to say, well, hey, here are some facts, here's some information to show you that I'm a good person even though I did something wrong. And when the
Be that
judge
as
is
it may.
talking,
Let it be like that, and then just being the opposite of the person that's talking to, I guess. Like, let it be how it is, and I'm gonna move on with my decision without considering the fact that you just told.
to this individual,
Like, not focusing on the information, like that's even a bias, I think so. That think like we think that we aren't focusing on a piece of information, but we are actually. For example, if we are told four words and we are told not to use these words to connect something else, okay, let's not explain it because I don't understand it that well as well.
the judge may say that information, and they may say, look, yeah, you have been very helpful in your community. You have shown that you can be an honest and trustworthy individual. You've been a good friend to others. Be that as it may, you have still broken the law and you must be punished for that. So, once again, you are basically reaffirming that it doesn't matter what information or facts that you get, it's not going to change your opinion about this topic or this situation. And remember, it is a bit more.
Okay, be that as it may, but not gonna turn into a religious person just by listening to some facts about God. Is that a correct use? I guess so. Be that as be that as it may, what? Be that as it may, be that as it may. But I'm not gonna just go to school because you are gonna tell me some 5 points about why school is great. I believe that school is trash and it would be trash, as, uh, uh, at least for me. Be that
Or
as it
somebody is
may,
trying to say, look, I am not
keep
going to
that in
change
mind.
my opinion, even though I believe all of this other information.
It's
Be that
true.
as it may, I'm not going to change my opinion.
All I can tell you is that I'm a different person now. Oh, great. I don't care. Be that as it may, I know I don't deserve your mercy or your forgiveness.
Well, I see it. I'm owed.
Be that as it may. Rickon's not yours to sell anymore.
Mayor, I am not out of control.
That as it may, I must request that for the time being you allow the city to handle its own emergency.
Then we have the expression around the clock. So in this case, it's talking about something that is continuous, that it is lasting, especially lasting 24 hours, that it is around the clock all day, every day. And this expression, I think it's often used before words like open, like, we're open around the clock, or words like available, I'm available around the clock. You
I think that's used majorly with the thing that a birthday is around the clock.
can call me
Like it's really close.
anytime. My phone is
Isn't
always
that
on
sir?
any time of the day around the clock.
Efforts continue around the clock.
I'm working around the clock.
You've been working around the clock.
You can call me Nikki. It will be a pleasure to serve you. I am available to you around the clock. Just let me know.
Next is
Around the clock, I think around the clock then means the whole clock, like anytime.
the expression to toss around the idea, or you could say to toss
Available
around
around
some
the clock.
ideas.
Working around the clock. Yeah.
And
Working around the clock.
Hi, I'm Liz.
I'm happy around the clock.
it's a form of brainstorming that
Toss
you are
around
just
some
thinking about new
Let's not
ideas or
toss
new
around some ideas,
possibilities,
guys.
usually with another person, or often with a group of people as well. If there is a group of
Let's talk.
individuals
No,
and
just toss
you
around some
have
ideas.
to think of something, you have to come up with some new ideas, you might tell the group,
Brainstorming.
let's toss around some ideas. Let's get
Let's
some
toss
ideas
around
out
some
there,
ideas
and then
now.
we'll make a decision. This expression, I think, is used a little more informally when you are talking maybe with your colleagues or friends. In order to make a great decision, we need to come up with many different ideas, so let's toss around some ideas.
So you want to go over it and toss some ideas around?
No, that's okay.
That means I'm gonna go to my book editor, Melissa, and toss around some book ideas and go home, soak in the tub, drink a glass of wine.
The next expression, and I think this one is a bit more challenging, and sometimes it may even be used incorrectly, is in and of itself. And what this means is that you are considering something alone that is apart from everything else. So you're referring to something that is being considered alone. Now, I will say that some people, they may think this expression is a little outdated, it's a little old-fashioned. I think that this is definitely more of an advanced expression. You may not hear it as often, but when you do, just realize that it's referring to something that is being considered alone. Let me give you an example to help you better understand how it's used. So I might say that a sentence like this: the rainy weather in and of itself was not the cause of the traffic jam. So there could be many causes for this traffic jam. The rainy weather,
Was
it
not.
could be one of them. It's
Oh.
not the only one. It could be part of this. So what I said in that sentence, I said the rainy weather in and of itself, when it's considered alone, which means that is the only thing that you are thinking of is the rainy weather, was not the cause of the traffic jam. Something else you should know about this expression is
In
that
and of itself.
it would often be found in the middle of the sentence, that it's going to be separated by two different commas. So you're going to say something in and of itself and then finish the sentence.
That is reverse sexism, which is in and of itself a sexist thing to do.
Summoning the Brethren Court, then, Jesus. I only hope that. That's a sad commentary in and of itself.
My cousin violated his parole, which in and of itself isn't good news. But we're gonna get his van until he gets out.
I did not say Stuart. I said stalwart.
Which in and of itself would be weird enough.
Next is the expression lo and behold. And when somebody uses lo and behold, they are telling someone something surprising that happened. This expression often follows the word and. I think also that it's quite common that you would use this when you're telling a story. You're telling somebody a story and talking about some events that happened, and then you want to reveal something surprising all of a sudden, lo and behold. For example, if somebody said, wow, and I looked in the drawer, and lo and behold, I found my wallet. So
I didn't understand that because I was thinking about something else.
They are telling someone something surprising that happened. This expression often follows.
I don't think so. I'm gonna use it, to be honest. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
What should have happened, maybe how they would have changed.
Let's see that.
So again, I think it really helps to just learn these expressions as one chunk and learn their meaning so that it gives you a better understanding as to how and when it's used. Now, having said that, if you are somebody who likes, oh, I need to really know each and every individual word, then I think that's okay. But really, try to view these expressions as a single chunk with a single meaning. Because what I really don't want you to take these expressions for granted, because you will hear them from time to time. And now that you understand their meaning, I hope that you can go out and use them. And I know it can be difficult. I know it can be challenging, but I think you guys, you can do it. You're just going to study around the clock. And the more you study them, the more you practice them, you're just going to start speaking. And lo and behold, you're just going to start using these expressions naturally and easily. And that's going to help you improve your overall fluency. And I thought I'd just try and give you a little bit of review while at the same time giving you an inspirational message. All right. Just, I always want to encourage you to learn, practice, and continue building your vocabulary. Keep that in mind. All right. That is it. I hope you enjoyed learning some of these advanced expressions, and I will see you next time.
Today, the world has far too many barriers.
From SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Are you ready to level up your vocabulary? Let's do it. Having a good vocabulary.
Okay, guys, we are over with it, and I guess lo and behold, we are ending the stream. Let's not take this service for granted. That I learned some things today. So I guess that's it.